why I have to do a couple of. We got here some more. Alligator walk.
Oh, hip bounce.
Right there. Alligator walk.
Alligator. Oh, not this bullshit. Snake walk.
Bamboo snakes in the water.
Oh, okay, good. I thought he was gonna do that hip dance thing. I thought he was gonna do that as a snake walk.
Oh.
That's why.
You want to do it like me, which is the easiest way. Just go like this. You're rolling on your shoulder.
Yeah. Put your arm behind your back.
You want your feet, hands to stay this way.
Behind her back.
Like almost onto that shoulder, and then onto the other elbow.
So try to see your toes and feet.
The same way, like
So it looks kind of like CJ's doing your hair. And you can take your time. Here.
okay. Stay on your back to your shoulder.
Use that other elbow to stop it.
Ooh, rolling like
All the way around the other.
Watch out.
We're just making the
Nice and
line.
slow.
Roll line.
Don't expect to do it perfect. Or just try to figure out how to do it, and then you're just kind of taking it. You can do it slow or fast, but I'd say do it slow. And good job. That's actually really, really close.
That shoulder.
It's one of the difficult ones. Nice. Come on. Yeah. Slower. You just got to get used to the feeling of it.
Yeah, but it helps you get converted. Which I'm not good at. That's why I like to do it. If somebody like stacks you, like you're getting, like you're trying to triangle somebody, and they stack you, it helps you get used to putting your feet up. Facing that way. Yeah, I keep my hands like this. It's just easier.
Someone said put behind your back too.
Huh?
Someone said put behind your back.
Well,
How you doing? You tracking behind your leg?
I do like this. Like I put my hand. You're supposed to be able to do them like this, but it just helps me when I go like this. Watch this. So my head's down, my arms are in. I'm rolling on my shoulders and the back of my neck. And my feet and hands are still facing the same direction. Put your head down like this. Yeah, like that. There you go, just like that. Perfect. Keep your feet in the same direction. That's it. Now this is the adolescent bear bowl.
Baby back.
So there you go. Just don't let go. Touch it. Put your hand like that. Now you just think this is the wheel that you're rolling on. Here, here, here. So you're gonna go down to your elbow. You're gonna roll on that.
Okay, it's a real thing. there's nothing wrong with it. Never really time, right? Go in the water, go in that lane.
I can't even talk. Well, it helps. It's a stretch. It helps you get upside down.
Hey, what is wild? You don't do this one, but you did this one. How do you explain that to me? Like, how do I do that? I don't even know.
What we're doing?
Let's get a partner, and we're gonna drill for one round of mount escapes. Those of you who remember the mount escapes that we did the other day, you can start practicing those because today's lesson is gonna be additional mount escapes. So work with what you know. Let's get some people, YouTube, and then you guys together. And what I want you to do is just kind of go over them, feel them out, and just kind of talk about mount escaping. You can add in what we went over last class, which can kind of help a little bit. But let's just also keep moving, not just a static conversation of constantly talking. Let's be moving while we're talking. There has been very times I haven't
Yeah, you know that.
instead of pushing.
Some today is an organized, but for you, today could be the day you try a new McDonald's sauce for the first time. Maybe you'll get the next to find your clothes and money. Maybe you'll get super spicy jam onto your sausage egg McMuffin. Maybe you'll get a drink in both sauces. Any day you try McDonald's new salt and spicy jam and mango sauce will be a special day because their time and our famous sauce is limited. I participate in dance for one time as a translator.
Yes, and try to get your hips up as you can. And then you're gonna skate again. So here, like putting your knee to your elbow.
elevation is like out of this hand point back.
All right, guys, here we go. Let's circle up. So, really quickly, so we're gonna go into 2 of our extended mount escapes. We're gonna go, we went over a couple last time and some theory on mount escaping, which kind of ties into a lot of what we've been teaching lately about if you try or attempt to do something, don't let that defeat you and then you just fall flat, right? It's, come here, Matt. Oh. So, one of the things that we do is like if we try to do the traditional wrap, trap, and bridge, and let's say Matt's hand comes out and he goes, oh, well that didn't work, and now I stay here and suffer, right? Instead of just getting into that mode of like, I tried something, it didn't work, oh, what do I do from here? You want to start chaining things together, and that usually comes with a mindset of I'm going to keep moving and trying different things and not stop. If I just have that mentality in my head, that's going to cause me to keep my momentum going back and forth, trying and testing, so that eventually I find the opening that I need. Now, I think some of that comes from, we see a move, and if we don't get the goal, we don't get the outcome that we wanted, we feel like it was a failure. In jiu-jitsu, you're gonna have a lot of scenarios where the outcome that you want doesn't happen. You have a resisting opponent, someone who's actively trying to defeat you, right? So if we keep that in mind, then we know that we are gonna have a difficulty in doing this, and rarely is it ever gonna work 100% of the way, and if it does, it's usually with a person who's either just started or just might not know that move. You don't know what you don't know, right? So what we need to do is start working on the strategy of plan A, plan B, plan C, which ways to go from when things don't work the way we want, have contingency, right? And being okay, right? Instead of saying, man, I'm a such and such belt, or I've been training so long, and this person's new, and they got out of my arm bar, which I'm super good at, and it just didn't work. Instead of sitting there lamenting, you can just transition to a better position and try something new, right? And don't worry about it. Just let the flow happen. We're just gonna keep moving and growing. So, I wrap, I trap, I go to bridge, Matt pose. Maybe he poses here. Will he stop me? If I just sit back, Matt's still in mount. If I take my hand and just simply put it in his armpit, scoop my hips away, I can come in to a fancy little leg position. If you don't know leg locks, that's great. Guess what? It's still difficult for Matt to come back towards me. I have a knee and a foot. And if I don't want to do leg lock stuff, I can just move it, start to make my way up to the top, and now I'm out of mount. Let's ask ourselves the question. When we're mounted and we want to get out, do you really care how good it looks, or you just want to get out of mount? Get out. At the end of the day, you just want to be out of mount. You just don't want to be mounted and smashed, right? All right, so let's go back. Real quick refresh. Is this the wrap? So self-defense, safety, boom, I keep him here, I come up, I'm gonna go ahead and get out, I'm gonna wrap it, holding it, trapping, trading partners, curl your hand on their shoulder so you won't break your wrist. I'm gonna look my head away as far as I can, safely. If it's a self-defense scenario, you might want to keep things tucked. So I'm gonna look as far away as I can, opening up the space between my shoulder and my head. I'm gonna reach at this 45. I'm not gonna hit it. The power doesn't come from here. Power's gonna come from my hips. I press here as I'm reaching, causing this off-centering of his spine, and I'm just gonna bridge. Even when he tries to stop it, that helps, that works. Let me show you guys something that you'll do, a lot of people do. It may work, but it's gonna cost you a lot of energy. Not turning my head, getting excited, and I'm gonna try to go straight laterally. And that took all of that to get him over. Did I get over? Yeah. Did he have time to adjust, maybe rip his arm out, do all that stuff? Which one looked easier? First, move your head out of the way, make that space. And as a matter of fact, when we do this, we wrapped it, we trapped it, we got this bridge. Punching here will sometimes cause them to react and come back center, which then they get heavier and you might not be able to again switch them. Sneaky arm, sneaky, sneaky, we're here, right? Turn. Self-defense scenarios, keep your head down, you don't need to see. If I sit up like this, he's gonna come with a punch, especially if he's got his guard lock. Then you start working fancy guard breaks and things, but if his legs are open, we're gonna come down, hands come to the hips, hands come to the knees, and we're gonna escape. Self-defense stops, we did the kick you punch on the way up, right? That's that one. The other one that we did, before we get into our new ones, is Matt is in a low mount, hips on hips. Matt's gonna scoot up midway. He's like a middle mount right here, and then he's gonna do a high mount. Yes. This one we don't want. We don't want this one for obvious reasons. Very bad. So, if you find yourself here and you happen to have your arms here, don't stay here. It's a matter of time until he figures out which arm he wants, how he wants to angle his body, and how he's going to submit you. You want to start making your way up, feet. You can start little bumps. Once you can get to this mid-mount, if you can, let's say I can't quite get my hand across his hips, I'll take one arm and I'm going to slide my elbow inside of his thigh if I can, using this cupping motion. I'll bridge up a little bit more, and if he gives me the space, I'm going to bring my hand across his hips. I'm going to take my other hand and grab my wrist, like this. My goal is to get this elbow inside. So, if that means my hands don't lock just at first, that's fine. The elbow inside is very key. Your elbows and knees are best friends. He's keeping them apart. You have to reunite our elbows and knees. So, when we're here, if he tries to slide back up, it's gonna be you can frame like this, crossing your wrist is fine. I prefer to get here so that when he tries to come back up, it's really difficult. He'll actually elevate before he's able to slide straight up. And that gives me more space to occupy. But we're here. So we're gonna get our feet here. We're going to now go ahead and we're gonna bridge him up. And we're gonna scoot our hips back. We can throw this. It's my preferred motion, leg over. Put your foot just under his ribs, middle of his flank area here, and you can push with your knees and foot to push him that way, or you can push his armpit as you start to come up. Now it becomes a scramble. If his leg is still here, we have opportunities. I would say don't come to a neutral position, because now we're fighting from zero again. If you find yourself in that scenario, go into an attack. Don't run away, get to a good position, and then start to come back at it, whether it's grabbing here, pulling into you, whatever the case. So once again, we're here. He may have gotten mid-mount. I can get my frames in. I really want this elbow inside for more than just getting inside his knee and pushing it away and making space, but also because this is able to be attacked. So if he wants to scoop underneath it, and he starts getting here, or even on the outside, go around it and just start walking. Yeah, he's gonna start bringing that up. Oh no. And if it's tucked, then it's safe. We're not gonna get attacked as much. We have a little better spot here. Boom. So if I'm here and it's not, so then I may start needing to do some little bumps. Notice I came in. I brought my knee in. I'm cupping his leg. Why am I doing that? One, so he doesn't. Go ahead, back that. Boom. Right? Also, what's the first thing he's going to want to do? This knee is impeding his mount. He may take his hand and push the knee. Push my knee. Yeah, it's going to be difficult for him to go ahead and push it. Push it through.
Huh? You're making a lot of money to make this look good.
Hey, it goes through, man. That check's clear.
Didn't want to smoke it.
So it keeps him from backstepping, but it also keeps him from pushing that knee down as much, because that's the first thing he's going to want to do, right? If he puts his hand on the knee, right? Boom. Oh, this is perfect. As long as I don't feel the sense that he's going to push it through, I'll bring my hand to his wrist. Now I have a control here. This other hand can come out and block his leg. We can do whatever we want from here. But basically, you can just start elevating. And we can do a switch if you like. So you're making this space. When you're hipping away, you get your knee to your elbow, you want to split his base. And that's just simply moving your hips away. Escaping motion. Which brings us to today, right? So you can practice those. That's just a refresher. So today's, we're going to do 2. We're going to do this one, which is very basic, okay? And this is going to rely on us getting the frame. Again, we're going to dead leg one of our legs, and we're going to get on our hip as much as we can. Our top leg is going to try to find his ankle. We're going to pull it in between our legs. I'm going slow, but I'm going to tell you in a minute which part we need to go quick. There's a moment, there's elements of this or timing in this that has to go quick. You can't delay. You'll start to push this, rotate. Same thing on the other side. You can push it, put your foot through, and then you can come back to a nice closed guard. Don't just get a closed guard, get closed guard with head on. Right? Because I can start doing this, and he does not feel safe here. He wants to move. Remember, we're escaping to an attack, not escaping to neutral. All right? One more time. Framing. We're going to turn up, catch, scoop the foot, elbow comes down, knee comes over. We're switching, 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 switching. If you need to use your shin on this side, your leg might not be flexible. Push his leg. Come up to an attack. Any questions? So in real time, you would get here. As soon as I scoop this and I begin to rotate, this is when it becomes fast. Because that's the time he's going to stop. In the beginning, I want you guys to do it slow, just like I did when I demonstrated. You need to learn how to use your shin to push that leg down if you're not flexible to come out and get your leg out. My legs are long, so I have to push that thigh, right? If not, my foot won't come all the way out, especially if they're being tight. What you find is that doing that slowly gives you the rhythm. And then you can start to turn it up some, okay? You can't do that fast right out of the gate. You're gonna get stuck, right? So, frame, hip, scoop. The clock starts now. You're gonna be going fast. If you need to, looks nice and easy, and I want you to do it nice and easy. There's no rush right now because you're learning. But when you go to do it, it needs to be fast. Because you have an opponent who's going to be like me, not letting it happen. And a lot of times, if they're faster than you, or if they're a few moves ahead of you, you'll end up in half guard only, which is fine. I want you to train for the full effect. I want you to train to get to the end. And if you fall short, well, guess what? You can learn to work from that. It's better than being what? Down. Okay? All right. If there's no questions, see if our training partner gives a shot. 1, 2, 3.
Oh, sorry.
You did a great mount. Remember, you're going to dead leg one. Get all the way up on your side. Your shoulders are flat on the mat. So you'll see a difference here. Go back. So you're going to make your frame. Right, nip on so this needs to be a mid-mount. Okay, low. There you go. All right, there you go. And put your face. Now that leg has to go down. Nope. The way you're going to turn is that. Now you're going to get up on your shoulder and your hip. Nice. Look, you've already got his foot right there. You made it easy. His TK's foot was hidden. Reach over. See how you can smooth it? Nice. The clock starts. It'll slow now, but you know this is the time when you need to go quickly. So now you can take this hand and just over your elbow in the front and start pressing it down. As you switch, switching, hold on. You don't have to keep that frame. Now you can do an underhook on this side. I like to do an underhook here because it helps center the body when you need it. Start pushing that knee with your forearm or your hand, and then you get your shin across. Once your shin comes across, point your knee towards me. Point it towards me. No, go back. Push his leg back into your shin. Nice. Now bring it back. Made it easier, right? Yeah. Use that. Use that. Put that shin on his leg. Stop. Now push his thigh. Bring your leg out. He's gonna go back. Keep both of these. Now you got him. He doesn't have you. Bring him a little higher. Bring him up on the back of his head. Hold on. Put him right here on his triceps. So grab it. Yeah, like that. You got it. Just bring him over. Now you basically can kind of turn him however you need, right? Your hand was underneath and you pulled it out. If your hand's under there, just grab it off. Just collect it off. Go ahead and do that again. I want to see. There's something right at the end I want to show you. Lines, table size. Stop. This right here. Yeah, push. Collect everything up. I would say put it across your hands, right in the front of your head. They don't pull their arm back. Take it. Then you got like sweep just beside your hand and go. Because their arm Let it do it again. And this time grab a tricep and just practice it.
It's fine.
Now we're just going to see? You go like you were like, oh no, here. Can't do anything on my side. The only thing you really do is try to push yourself forward and get your arms free, but he can elevate at that point, and then you're going to go. Try to use that foot. You guys good? Let's kick. Show me your jams, bro. Show me how you make mountains silly.
I don't want to bring you down on top of my head.
What I was showing them. See how you're there, you're hanging out, see how you have both hands? When you cinch up your arms, cinch them up, shooting behind your triceps. So it would be like this right there.
Well, this is keep it here. Way down.
No, it's like that. Keyboard is the right? Now, push, get that leg out. Now you just trying to get out of that. She has to come forward, right? She can't get back. Her arms are like this. I like to get back on the triceps. Now you get out of that pressure. You have to come forward in, which means your hips come forward. You guys got just a little Sometimes it happens like that. So you would bring it up, right? So you know that this cups back to that. So you get really tight there. And you use this fast too, remember. You're gonna come in fast, and you're just gonna go like that. Tight, breathe tight your chest. Yep. Back and sit down. Yes. Now you can sweep whichever one you want. You've got both of his arms. You can let go, and if he goes past you, there's no passing. He's like this. There's nothing. I mean, if he tries to pass your guard, he's just opening himself up. You can gift wrap and handcuff. All right, guys, let's circle up. All right. So, just most of you guys saw it, and we shared this. Is we're here, right? Dead leg. We scoop it. We use our elbow to push in. We have an underhook, so we keep this. This comes in, and I'm showing people that I have this underhook as well. This goes into our attacking as we escape. So once our shin is in front of his thigh on this side, we can collect, push, and now we're here. If Matt doesn't like this, does he pull away? Can he pull away? Can you pull away from this?
You?
Yeah. Okay, but you would come forward, right?
Think so.
Without hands, you can bridge, and then we can come up on top, right? So, it's options, but you have them collected. You have them all balled up. Now they have to make a decision on what they want to do, right? And passing the guard is probably not going to be high on their list. Now, here's the second one. This, ladies and gents, is going to be a learning curve, okay? He locks his ankles underneath around our hips. And this creates a dilemma because this is, it's tough for me to, can't turn, and I'm in this spot. We're in a pickle per se. So this is going to require some leverage. We can go back to our forearm across with our frame. And what we're going to do is we're going to try to get his center of base up a little bit, his arms up a little bit. You can do this, and you can do that. Push with this. You'll see in a minute. You can push here, you can push here, you can push there. I like leverage, I like frames. Frames are way stronger for me than actually just trying to lift somebody. So I'll get a frame, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to try to brace my frame, and I'm going to try to elevate him up, and I'm going to use my legs, and I'm going to kick. This is CJ's favorite. You try to kick to get your knees inside so that you can then start to do it. This is called a kipping escape, and it is difficult, but it works. You go off to the side. So when I frame, if I'm going to go this way, I like my elbow to lift, right? So he locks in, he's here. I'm going to understand that this is where this is at. I can't really kip him here. There's no space. I have to elevate it. So I'm here, I'm turn, kicking my legs and coming in. Guys, it looks ridiculous, but it works. It's one of those things. Listen, hip escaping doesn't look magnificent or glorious, but it works too. So we're here, he locks in. Maybe I don't want him to be here. We can lift him up. We can turn to the side because turning to the side causes him to off base. You can kick your legs. When you're playing with this, do what works. He's locked in. Boom. I can't even let my legs go down. He's really like just killing it, right? If I'm here, I can swing my legs. I've got an off balance. Kick and bring him up. Now, there is some people quite proficient at this who can like kipping down the mat. I'm not as coordinated as those people. They will kipping down the mat and come back. They'll use their legs and elevate and do that, right? So, with that being in mind, I encourage you to try it once or twice. If it doesn't feel like something that you feel personally like you're going to use at this time in your game, go back to the other 2 or 3 and work on those to practice, okay? But do give it a shot. Give it a try. You'd be surprised if you can elevate the person high enough or off the middle, and you can start kicking your legs, all you need is your knee to come in between that collection, that circle that they made with their legs. If you can get your knee in, then you can do kind of like we did with our shin on the thigh. You've now made that wedge that you can push away with, okay? Feel free to use hands to push in armpits. I like to try to push them up a little bit, get them one way or the other. I can make the frame, and I can like swing my legs and push with my elbow, and then I can start kicking to get my knees in, okay? Any questions? Let's all look ridiculous together. Don't do very good. So try your frame and go and keep your legs together and swing them back and forth like you're doing a pendulum. But then if you can get her off, yes. So see how she moves? Just keep doing that. Use your elbow to push. So see how you use your elbow? But now as you're doing that, you're kicking your legs. You're not pushing with your arms. So kick your, no, you're not pushing with your arms. You're pushing with your leg, kicking with your legs. First of all, her circle's broken open. She's not holding on. So I'll go back to her on the first one. So if she keeps her ankles locked, slide down a step. There you go. Now lock those ankles in nice and tight. Yeah, it feels more like this. Sit down. Give it a shot. Frame, elbow, feet together. Swing it back and forth. Feel silly, feel silly.
That's hard.
That's just like I said, if it's not your jam, go back to the other ones. It's okay. So, now, are you just trying to push this? Come back again. So you kind of want to elevate it with your hand. You're following elevation. It's not pushing straight up. So you're pushing it or at an angle towards you. So put your feet together. Up and in. And go ahead and use your hands to push in one way or the other, and then swing your legs back and forth side to side. See how you're making this? Yes. Now push, push, push. Or if you can go like that. I mean, I'm not gonna. What is that? So I'm just gonna be like this. Kicking up the leg. Or take it all the way to the side. But while we're trying to be careful, so this, I'm going to bend the arm, push it away. Somebody's really smooth with it, they'll just turn it. I'm dropping on it. That's why I like to do this one. So you're trying to, this one's good enough that if they try to take it out here, pull back. So the kicking's got to its face first.
For where? Where are we gonna go?
Trying to create a space right here.
What's up too high? Put my legs out.
Oh, you probably should turn it. And now that's what you got. This is just a variation of square. Some people once you practice that, for me, all the way I can cross my legs. So also part of the reason why we want to get out, make it uncomfortable.
Yeah.
And I'm like, man, this is pretty good. He's picked it up. So that's still awkward too. He's like, he started kicking. I'm like, oh, he's kicking. I'm like, that's pretty good. Okay. Nice. See what you mean. So for this to work right now, locked in, right? Just like right here, if you're down that far, getting your elbow on the inside, she's so low. Right. That you're going to come in here to get the elbow. It's not you tuck your hand and maybe start pushing. You know, with your head right here. Yeah. Across the wrist. Here. Okay.
That's the thing.
She's really tight. She's not letting you go. Feet together. Back and forth. Back and forth. lapel like this. And then when you feel like you're getting some space, you start taking. See how see it? And then so it's a timeout. Okay. I see what happened. Practice it when you're done. It's just but it's the side now.
I never want to be squirrel.
Right.
It has to be a lot.
Yeah, it's not long as it's like a
All on my side.
but it's like a base, and then you have this kind of belly out and back and forth and back. Okay, right? If it's closed, there's certain ways you can have it. But once it's open,
Like you want to go
it does, close guard, and you're on top. And so, there's a way to get out of it. Once it's open, go back to the way it is. You go right out of that. No. So, if he locks, like lock your ankle there. Yeah. So, actually, use a frame. Yeah, and it, perfect. Yeah. You made it open, so now you're just gonna scoop it and go back to number one. Underhook, underhook, underhooks. Don't forget to, this is over until you can get that first leg, that first half guard situation.
So that's just to bring it up.
That's just to get what you need to be, get one leg strapped into, once that frame, you know,
I mean, it works, yeah. Oh, goodness.
This room. We'll be ready to go back if it, something happens, it does, that works.
Whatever we meant to make it.
On a mat, hold your legs straight up in the air, put your ankles away. Now just, I like one, that's all right. Just swing, watch everything start trying to,
That's the stuff. Experimental stuff that
now go over that ankle, right leg, right ankle over the hip.
everybody's game is different.
Yes.
Like you cheering my heart. Like you don't even have a halo. I can already feel it. That's crazy.
And if I reach under there and grab this, and then break your
Hey everybody, what? Come here, Matt, real quick. Here's these guys basically just did a drill real fast when Matt was doing it. That might help translate this a little more, right? So Matt gets in there. He locks his ankles. I've got my frame. Go ahead and lock your ankles. Nice, tight there. So we're not going to try to kick him out. We're gonna, the first step is moving our legs together. Like I've seen some people do this, but notice my hips aren't moving. I need my hips to go back and forth. And once you start making that motion, applying your frame in whatever direction you would like, whether it's this way or the elbow, you can just start. So he stays locked, and we just start rocking back and forth as we feel the need. If he goes that way with just the push, okay, then you can kip him. But if he's not, you can start kipping as you go. But begin with, notice my hips off the ground, hips off the ground. This is not going to do it. Well, I said this thing's kind of silly in the first, so you don't kind of know, and you're just kind of throwing yourself around. What we talked about is, what's interesting is, look at it this way. When Matt's in mount, and he locks his ankles behind my hips, he has control of my hips, and his legs are creating a circle. What is he in essence doing? He's in closed guard from top. So think of it this way. When you're in closed guard, in a traditional sense, if I had my legs around his waist and holding him, there's a certain escape he would use. But as soon as my legs open into open guard, he's using a different escape to pass. If I'm here with Matt, and I'm doing this, and he opens his legs to stop, well now it goes to a different pass, or a different escape. We don't want to sit there and keep trying to kip him. We need to get out of that circle. Now that the circle's open, we can start doing this from earlier. Okay? Make sense? A little more. All right, guys. Any questions? All right, on 3, let's get up, stand up, and bow out, and roll, and do some things. Oh, wait a minute, hold on.
I'm just asking, everybody that's familiar, he's not familiar with ankles, hooks.
Oh, so guys,
So
the
just
rule of the gym, if you want to work leg locks with somebody, you have to really talk to them first, especially if it's somebody who's newer, and say, hey, do you do leg locks? If they're brand new to the gym, they haven't been here for a long time, then you probably shouldn't even just do them. Let them get used to rolling first. But if you would like to do leg locks, then you need to discuss it with your training partner. And if we're talking heel hooks, then you need to have an understanding of them. And if you don't know heel hooks, then tell them outright, a straight ankle, it'll give you pain before it damages. A knee bar, very little, you'll get pain, but it's a very close margin for injury. Heel hook, the pain happens after you've been injured. So, let's just do, oh, and toe holds. Toe holds, straight ankles, you wanna work those, fine. You'll get the pain before you get the injury. The other two, knee bars and heel hooks, I wouldn't suggest doing them just yet. Work on the other two first. But if you wanna do those, it's always the person who wants to work the leg locks needs to be the one who initiates the conversation, okay? All right? Any questions? All right, on 3, let's get it going. 1, 2, 3.
No means no.
No means no.
Because it led to a heel hook.
Yes.
That's how I see it.
Guys, if you are new, but you want to eventually one day get into leg locks, getting into leg lock positions and not finishing them is a great way to introduce yourself to those scenarios without the danger of injury. And in this class, we have lots of people who are willing to work those with you. Just talk to them, okay? Feet together, bow out. Gracie.